When deputies attempted to make initial contact with Anglin, they heard a gunshot.
Deputies had been searching for Anglin since April 13th for the shooting deaths of a woman and a teen near their home in North Lauderdale.
In the early hours of April 14, 2022, a horrifying discovery was made outside an apartment complex. What seemed like an ordinary morning turned into a nightmare for Jennifer Bellany and her young daughter. Around 9 a.m. that day, Jennifer, a 32-year-old mother, was in the midst of preparing her children for school when tragedy struck. She and her 15-year-old daughter were found brutally murdered. It was not a random act, but the violent end of a terrifying cycle of abuse.
You're a coward, and God will deal with you. My God will deal with you.
When police arrived, the scene was chilling. A mother and daughter had been savagely taken by none other than Jennifer's controlling and abusive ex-husband. The shocking part? Just days earlier, Jennifer had taken steps to protect her family, filing a restraining order to escape his relentless cruelty. This was more than just a crime. It was the heartbreaking end of Jennifer Bellany's fight for safety and the life of her innocent daughter, Anastasia.
I was told to have kids, right? And that's a blessing, which I can see that message. You know, this is what I have to deal with. I have to deal with this and this.
Every time we come here, there was always a mess.
Jennifer Alexandra Bellany, only 32, had always been the light of her family's life. Described as joyful and radiant, she had a gift for spreading happiness wherever she went. Born and raised in North Lauderdale, Florida, Jennifer's childhood was filled with laughter and warmth. Little did anyone know that the darkness looming over her life would come from someone she once trusted the most. Jennifer radiated care and compassion, offering kindness to everyone she encountered, no matter their background or appearance. Her love knew no bounds, given freely and generously, a reflection of the deep well of her spirit. With her vibrant energy and infectious personality, Jennifer had an incredible gift. She could draw people in, leaving an indelible mark on everyone she met. Her presence was unforgettable. People couldn't help but be captivated by her warmth and generosity.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I have something on my mind. You know, it is about forgiveness. If someone hurts you and you know that you're good to that person, forgive them. You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself.
From the very start, Jennifer Bellany was a high achiever. Her ambition was as vast as her dreams, and she chased them with an unrelenting determination. It was clear, she wasn't just living life, she was out to conquer it. Her fierce commitment to success set her apart, ensuring that no opportunity was left unexplored. The future seemed hers for the taking, as Jennifer's drive to achieve greatness only grew stronger. This was the foundation of the woman she would become, unstoppable, focused, and full of promise. But little did she know, the next chapter of her life would bring a twist she never saw coming. During her time in college, Jennifer honed her skills, balancing academics with her growing passion for entrepreneurship. Always aiming high, she dove deep into finance, business, and investing. Her vision was clear. She wouldn't just achieve financial independence for herself, but would also empower others to do the same. Her college years weren't just about grades, they were about building the life she dreamt of. The lessons she learned there paved the way for the thriving businesses and careers that would follow. Jennifer's hard work, resilience, and unyielding passion for bettering herself and others became her legacy. Her story inspired those around her, and her ambition knew no bounds. It was that same energy that would lead her to Andre O'Dane Anglin, the man who would change her life forever. During her time in college, Jennifer met 32-year-old Andre, a fellow student with an easy smile and an undeniable charm. From the moment their paths crossed, a spark ignited between them. Andre's charisma drew Jennifer in, and soon they were inseparable. Jennifer and Andre would regularly spend time together, doing typical teenage things, hanging out, sharing their dreams, and imagining a future filled with possibilities. Their connection deepened, and soon they were officially a couple. But there was one challenge. Jennifer wasn't allowed to date at that age, yet nothing could stop their bond. Jennifer was utterly smitten with Andre, and in her eyes, he could do no wrong. Their love story continued to bloom, untouched by the rules and expectations around them. They supported each other through their studies, helping one another navigate the ups and downs of young adulthood. The years passed, and after college, their relationship only grew stronger. They decided it was time for the next big step. The couple, now inseparable, made the decision to marry. Their wedding day was nothing short of magical, a celebration of love, laughter, and joyous tears. Surrounded by their closest friends and family, Jennifer and Andre vowed to spend their lives together. The future seemed incredibly bright, and for a while, it appeared they were living the perfect love story. This was the beginning of a new chapter in Jennifer's life, one that promised to be full of promise and hope. A few months later, the couple welcomed a beautiful baby girl, Anastasia. Jennifer was over the moon, thrilled beyond words. From the moment Anastasia, affectionately nicknamed Nana, arrived, Jennifer fully embraced motherhood, devoting herself entirely to her daughter. Anastasia wasn't just her child, she was her closest companion, a source of pride, joy, and inspiration. Jennifer often spoke about how Nana brought a kind of love into her life that was pure and unconditional. The bond between them grew stronger every day, and in her eyes, nothing else mattered more than her little girl. Aside from being a devoted mother, Jennifer was also a hard-working financial services professional. She specialized in tax preparation, credit repair, and investment skills she used to help families build better, more stable futures. Her passion for helping others was unmatched, and she found immense fulfillment in guiding people toward financial security. Her entrepreneurial spirit pushed her to chase multiple ventures, including real estate, where she bought and sold homes and land with unyielding ambition. Jennifer wasn't just a businesswoman, she was a force of nature. Her expertise extended beyond investments and taxes. She also ran a clothing business, demonstrating her creativity and diverse talents. Jennifer's ability to juggle her professional responsibilities, lift those around her, and find joy even in life's challenges made her a beloved figure in her community. She was a woman who could do it all, and people admired her for it. Soon after, the family grew again with the birth of 2 boys. Like their older sister, Anastasia, their arrival brought even more love and joy to Jennifer and Andre's home. Jennifer once again dove headfirst into motherhood, savoring each precious moment as her family blossomed. With her nurturing spirit and boundless devotion, Jennifer poured everything she had into raising her children, creating a home filled with warmth, laughter, and endless love. She gave her all to her family, determined to build a life they could cherish. However, despite her efforts, the dynamics at home began to shift. Jennifer and Andre's marriage, once filled with promise, was beginning to unravel. Andre refused to contribute financially to the household, but that was only the beginning. His reckless spending habits and constant smoking only deepened the strain on their already fragile relationship. As their financial struggles grew, so did the arguments. Loud, frequent, and often heated. Andre's reluctance to hold a steady job wasn't just a private matter. It was well known, even among family members. Everyone saw it, his refusal to take on any real responsibility. For years, it was Jennifer who kept the family afloat, working tirelessly to provide a stable home. She was the sole breadwinner, while Andre's lack of motivation only added to the overwhelming burden she was already carrying. Little did Jennifer know, the future she had worked so hard to build was about to be shattered. But as the years went by, Andre's behavior grew darker. His temper flared more frequently, and his controlling attitude began to make Jennifer feel unsafe in her own home. The love and trust that had once bound them together slowly faded, leaving a chilling emptiness in its wake. By April 5, 2018, after enduring years of emotional abuse, mistreatment, and escalating conflict, Jennifer made a courageous decision. She sought a domestic violence restraining order against Andre. It seemed like a bold step toward reclaiming her life. However, court documents revealed something unexpected. The restraining order was dropped just 18 days later, when Jennifer chose not to follow through and make it permanent. What happened next would spark a chain of events that no one could have predicted. Despite taking this brave step, Jennifer's heart remained as compassionate as ever. She couldn't completely turn her back on Andre. Even after everything he had put her through, she continued to support him financially, hoping that one day he would change. She even enlisted the help of others, including a local pastor, to guide Andre toward personal growth and stability. Andre had also begun making repeated threats over the phone to end his own life. Jennifer's concern for his well-being grew with each call. Her family, deeply worried, prayed with him, offering words of encouragement, hoping to stop him from taking drastic actions. Despite their best efforts to console and uplift him, the atmosphere became increasingly tense. Jennifer's actions reflected her deep desire to see Andre succeed, not just for his own well-being, but for the sake of their children and the family they had built. She genuinely believed that with enough support, Andre could overcome his struggles and change. Her hope, however, was tragically misplaced. Nothing could have prepared Jennifer for the horror that was about to unfold. Unfortunately, Jennifer's kindness and generosity weren't enough to change the toxic dynamics of their relationship. Instead of improving, the situation only worsened. Eventually, Jennifer realized she could no longer endure it. Determined to reclaim her peace and protect her children, she made the hardest decision of her life. After years of separation and failed attempts at reconciliation, Jennifer made the heart-wrenching decision to file for a divorce. As expected, Andre was furious and the tension between them reached new heights. However, in 2020, Jennifer was officially granted the divorce. Following the separation, Jennifer faced the daunting task of rebuilding her life. She was determined to start fresh, to create a future for herself and her children that was free from fear and manipulation. But little did she know, the struggles were far from over. He continued to torment Jennifer long after the legal end of their marriage. Despite the divorce, Andre constantly resurfaced, making repeated threats and pressuring Jennifer to reconcile. Though Jennifer firmly rejected his advances, she couldn't escape the fear he instilled in her. But just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, betrayal and greed would tear her life apart. Jennifer paid the ultimate price for trusting the wrong person. On April 14, 2022, at around 9 a.m., police responded to a 911 emergency call at a townhouse complex on the 7900 block of Tam O'Shanter Boulevard. When deputies arrived at the scene, they were met with a heartbreaking discovery. Outside the townhouse, emergency crews found the lifeless bodies of 2 victims, both of whom had been fatally shot. As investigators pieced together the tragic details, it became clear that Jennifer and her daughter Anastasia were the victims. Both mother and daughter had suffered fatal gunshot wounds and were pronounced dead at the scene. An immediate investigation was launched, and eyewitness reports soon revealed a chilling sequence of events. According to witnesses, Jennifer and her 3 children had just stepped out of their apartment when they encountered her ex-husband, 32-year-old Andre O'Dane Anglin, who had been lying in wait. In a tragic turn of events, Andre allegedly ambushed his ex-wife and children, pulling the trigger on Jennifer before turning the gun on their 15-year-old daughter, Anastasia. The brutal attack claimed the lives of Jennifer and Anastasia, leaving them lifeless on the ground. Meanwhile, their 2 younger children, miraculously unharmed, were left to witness the unimaginable horror that unfolded before their eyes. Eyewitnesses painted a chilling picture of the scene. Jennifer and Anastasia's bodies were found outside their townhouse, in stark contrast to the typical quiet of the neighborhood. One body lay on the grass near the building's entrance, while the other was found beside a blue car in the parking lot. Jennifer's car doors, both the driver's side and the back passenger side, were wide open, revealing a child's car seat inside. Nearby, backpacks and scattered papers littered the ground, a heartbreaking reminder of the everyday moments that had been shattered by this senseless violence. Jennifer's death, along with that of her young daughter Anastasia, shattered the hearts of family, friends, and their entire community. The emotional toll was beyond comprehension, with those closest to them left grappling with an overwhelming sense of loss and devastation. Jennifer's mother, devastated by the tragedy, could hardly find the words to express her grief as she recalled her final conversation with her daughter. During their last call, Jennifer had described a suspicious figure lurking outside their home, someone who appeared to be Andre. Moments before the call ended, Jennifer's voice trembled as she said, "I'll talk to you later." That was the last time her mother would ever hear her voice, a haunting final exchange that would forever echo in her heart. Broward Sheriff's Office investigators quickly identified Andre O'Dane Anglin as the primary suspect due to his history of domestic violence and ongoing threats toward Jennifer. The scene that the officers saw was heart-wrenching, especially to the family. Among them was Jennifer's sister's aunt, Belinda Bellany, who tearfully condemned Anglin's actions and shared the immense pain they felt over the loss of Jennifer and Anastasia. Jennifer's aunt described her niece as not just a loving mother and devoted family member, but also as her best friend, someone who had always been there. That bond, a source of endless love and support, was now cruelly ripped away. The community, however, responded with overwhelming solidarity, honoring the memory of Jennifer and Anastasia. As word spread, friends, neighbors, and even strangers visited the scene, leaving flowers, candles, and heartfelt messages to pay tribute to the mother and daughter whose lives were tragically cut short. Their collective grief and love for Jennifer and Anastasia shone through, a testament to the profound impact they had on those around them. The gravity of the situation extended beyond Jennifer's family, causing widespread concern in the community. Nearby schools, including North Lauderdale Elementary and Silver Lakes Middle School, were placed on lockdown as authorities initiated their search for Andre O'Dane Anglin. The lockdowns were eventually lifted by noon, but the unease lingered throughout the area. The Broward Sheriff's Office, BSO, investigators quickly zeroed in on Anglin as the prime suspect, citing his history of domestic violence and repeated threats toward Jennifer. But they discovered more about what he did. Anglin also had a prior conviction for domestic violence in 2009, painting a clear picture of a pattern of escalating abuse. Law enforcement sprang into action, initiating an extensive manhunt for Andre O'Dane Anglin. Authorities described him as a 34-year-old male standing 5 feet 10 inches tall with ties to the Margate area. The Broward County Crime Stoppers stepped in, offering a $5,000 reward for any information that would lead to his capture. As the search intensified, media outlets broadcasted Anglin's photo and the details of the tragic crime, urging the public to contact authorities with any leads. The senseless tragedy left Jennifer's loved ones grappling with an unbearable loss. Their grief was magnified by the painful reality that Jennifer had done everything possible to protect herself and her children. Yet, Andre's toxic control and escalating violence led to this horrifying outcome. The heartbreak reverberated deeply throughout the community as those who knew Jennifer mourned not only the loss of her life, but also the stolen future of her young daughter, Anastasia. On Monday, April 18, 2022, 4 days after the murders, investigators located Andre at a Circle K gas station on Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. As deputies approached the restroom where he was hiding, a gunshot rang out. When they entered, they were met with a grim scene. Andre was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. BSO Sheriff Gregory Toney later expressed mixed emotions, acknowledging the swift investigative work, but lamenting the fact that Jennifer and Anastasia would never see full justice. He referred to Andre as a coward, someone who had evaded accountability by taking his own life before he could be held responsible for the devastating act he committed. For Jennifer and Anastasia's loved ones, Andre's death offered only partial closure. Though it ended the immediate threat, it could never erase the devastating loss of 2 vibrant lives. Friends and family continued to honor their memories, remembering Jennifer's resilience and Anastasia's bright future, as well as their bond, love, and positivity. The horrifying case of Jennifer Bellany and her daughter Anastasia reveals the critical need for taking threats seriously and providing victims with the resources and safeguards they need to protect themselves and their loved ones. It serves as a poignant reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked abuse and the importance of creating stronger systems to support victims before it's too late. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.